Hello, sei Charat. There is no such thing as a good life without a downside. And what is the downside in your life? Do you think your face is ugly? Is the downside in your life an incurable chronic illness? Were you betrayed by someone you trusted? Do your own children dislike you? Do your parents not accept your choices? Did you lose money on a bad investment? Well done. You found the downside in your life, and now you can love your problem. That's the meaning of the ancient idea of amor fati. In order to become a better person, you can think about the biggest problem in your life and love that problem. Loving the problem. Loving the problem doesn't mean trying to solve the problem. Loving the problem doesn't mean putting up with it or tolerating it or pretending that the problem doesn't exist. Loving the problem means acknowledging the value of this downside. You should celebrate the downside because it brings value to your life. Amor fati means loving your fate and celebrating the more cruel, unfair, and painful aspects in life. Amor fati is an expression in Latin that means love of fate. This expression is from ancient Greece and from the school of philosophy called Stoicism. We already looked at some Stoic practices in episode 45 of the Productivity Arata series. Basically, Stoicism teaches that there is a certain natural order of things. You will suffer if you don't accept life as it is. And you will live a good life if you accept the rules of the natural order. One of the rules of the natural order is that everyone's life is full of problems. And you shouldn't fight these problems or run away from them or simply tolerate them, because they will not disappear. So instead, you should love everything that happens in your life, including your problems, because they're part of your life. Do you understand? You've got to love your life as it is, including the downsides. And centuries later, this idea became popular again. Friedrich Nietzsche defined amor fati as his idea, his formula for human greatness. And it is easy to understand. For the best case scenario for an average person is just being able to tolerate their problems, right? However, only a superior person is capable of loving these problems. Amor fati means celebrating the value of your problems. You should learn to love things the way they are and accept all aspects of your fate with joy. We can all agree that love is a strong feeling that takes us to a higher level. Only love can transform bad things into good things. Therefore, when you love everything that appears in your life, including the downsides, you're filling your life with love from all angles. Amor fati is not conforming. It is actually wanting the upsides and the downsides to happen as they happen. And when you hear that you should accept things the way they are and love your fate, I know it might sound a little bit like you should conform, but that's not what it means. Amor fati doesn't mean conforming to your problems, but loving the fact that they make you who you are. Instead of wishing that life was different, you should accept that things happen as they happen. And you should even want it to be that way. Nothing more, nothing less. Just think about how much more fulfilled your life would be if you let go of the need to control. If you could go back in time, would you let everything happen the same way, even the bad things? It's simple. By loving everything in life, you're letting go the desire to control. And you'll also be free from a lot of your suffering. Instead of wishing you could control what is uncontrollable, accept that you always will have problems and think about loving these problems as they appear in your life. Think of these problems as the steps of a ladder that will take you to the next level, giving the best of yourself according to your current resources. And this will set you free from thinking, oh, if I had this or if I had that, I would be able to solve this problem. Stop comparing yourself to others and feeling jealous of them. Notice that it is pointless to compare yourself to others or wish you could go back in time and do things differently. Even if you did go back in time, other problems would definitely appear in your life. If you were the person you're jealous of, you'd have other problems, their problems. Wishing that things were different ends up causing suffering and frustration. Accept who you are, what your circumstances are, and then use your difficulties as fuel to overcome your problems. problems. Use your difficulties as fuel to become a better version of yourself. Instead of avoiding your problems, embrace them. Even wish for them. Problems help you to improve, to reach your full potential. If you avoid your problems, you're also missing out on opportunities for development. You see, closing your eyes and ignoring your problems won't help either. You need to see the problems. Big companies like Google, and Microsoft, and Tesla, they give huge cash prizes to hackers who manage to find their weaknesses. Yeah, they give the hackers a financial incentive to look for weaknesses, so then they can make even more improvements. So when a problem appears in your life, be thankful. If a problem worries you, be happy, because this makes you feel alive with a challenge ahead, and the challenge will require that you give the best of yourself. If the problems are unavoidable and they help you grow, it is logical to love these problems. The upside will not always outweigh the downside of a big problem, but you should still embrace every side of the problem. Actually, this is your only option. What else can you do? Getting frustrated, angry, or sad won't make the problem disappear. Actually, these negative feelings will stop you from taking actions to solve the problem, so it is better to use a positive feeling, like love, as fuel for you to grow and overcome the problem. Can you imagine feeling great when a problem appears? Can you imagine wishing for a problem to appear in your life? Can you imagine yourself being capable of feeling thankful for this problem appearing because you know that it will give you the chance to grow as a person? Now, I know it's not an easy task. From the moment we're born, we are trained to avoid problems and complain when they appear. So you need a stronger mind, a mature level of emotional control to be able to love your own problems. And don't judge yourself if after this conversation you still don't feel like you can love your own problems. It is not something that changes overnight. So instead, slowly start training your mind to say yes, to embrace your problems with love, and maybe even be thankful for the opportunity to face new challenges. In a happiness training that you can find in arata.se/happiness, we will do exercises on this based on positive psychology. And that way, with time, your mind will get used to the idea of amor fati, and it will significantly improve your levels of happiness and satisfaction with life. Amor fati is an idea that appeared centuries ago in ancient Greece, and it was defined by Nietzsche as a formula for human greatness. And you can start using it today to increase the levels of happiness in your life. And you can start training by practicing loving your problems, or better yet, loving everything that happens in your life, including the more cruel and painful parts of life, without wishing that things were different. This practice will reduce your suffering and fill your life with love from every angle, lifting you to higher levels in terms of emotional development. And if you are interested in more practices like this to become a happier person, you can come here and find out more about the Happiness Project in arata.se/happiness.